Good evening. My name is Jennifer Goetz, and at age 8 or 9, I was sexually assaulted by a local pediatrician. I'm not going to say his name because he doesn't warrant it. He disguised my assault as being part of a routine exam to check me for a vaginal yeast infection after being on antibiotics for an extended period of time. Even at age 8 or 9, I felt something was not right. It bothered me, and that event stayed with me for over the years. I tried to tell myself that he was a doctor and that he had to have had some sort of valid medical reason for what he did to me. It wasn't until I went to pharmacy school that I realized there was no valid reason for what he had done. I had been sexually assaulted. When I had realized that I had been assaulted, it was around the same time that a few families came forward in the late 90s to say that they had also been sexually assaulted by him. I watched in horror as the community rallied around this predator and vilified these families. I stayed silent rather than come forward because I wasn't strong enough to say those words. I was sexually assaulted out loud to anyone. And the community made it loud and clear that they would not listen, even if I had said them. Other than my parents and my fiance, I told no one. I tried to tell myself that if I just focused on the positive things in my life, I could just move on. It didn't work. In December of 2017, a brave 12-year-old girl and her family came forward to police to report that this same doctor had sexually assaulted her while she was a patient. I was determined that this girl was not going to go through what the families in the late 90s went through. I decided to come forward and tell the police what had happened to me. Until that day with the detective, the words, "I was sexually assaulted," had been trapped inside me for 20 years. The greatest thing I had ever heard was when the detective said to me, "I believe you." That was all I needed to hear. I had someone in my corner. I wasn't going to stay silent anymore. I think that was the beginning of when my healing started. Because of the way our laws are in Pennsylvania, my predator could not be charged with my assault. I was past the statute of limitations. My abuse occurred in the mid-'80s. Back then, I would have had until age 14 to come forward to police so that he could be charged with my assault. 14. At that age, I had no idea what sexual assault was, or that what had happened to me was even sexual assault, let alone that if I wanted to send him to prison, I had to do it before my 14th birthday. My abuser was convicted and sentenced to 79 to 158 years in prison. After sentencing, I walked down the courthouse steps along with 5 of my other brave survivor sisters and gave a statement to the media. I felt empowered. Even though I could not speak in that courtroom, I was going to speak where people could hear me, and I was done hiding. The next day, however, I thought, oh shit, what have I done? There's no going back now. What would people think of me? Then I realized, I don't care. I don't care what other people think. The guilt and the shame that had kept me silent for so long was not mine to carry. It was my predator's. None of this was my fault. If people don't like what I'm saying, or they want me to stay quiet because this topic makes them feel uncomfortable, they can kiss my ass. I'm not doing this for them. I'm speaking out for myself, for other survivors, and for, unfortunately, future survivors, to shine a light on the ugliness of sexual assault. In closing, I just want to say that connecting with other survivors has really helped in my healing. The survivor community has become my second family. We all have this unspoken connection between us. We support each other. We give each other strength. I would not be here today if it wasn't for them. They help me to find my voice and use what happened to me to try and make a difference for others. Some of us are working to get the laws changed in Pennsylvania so that victims can seek justice no matter what age they are when they decide to come forward. And I'm just going to go off the cuff here and not use my paper. I just want to say, if there's any survivors out there of assault, please, the healing begins when you're able to say those words out loud to someone. First yourself, then to someone else. And you will be believed. You will find people that will tell you, I believe you. And that's so important. If you are someone who has someone disclose to you and tells you what happened to them, those are the words they want to hear. I believe you. That's all you have to say. That's all they need to hear. That's all they want to hear. And I want to let everyone know that I'm going to speak until I'm blue in the face, until people start paying attention and putting survivors first. Thank you.